Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today we'll be talking about Classically Abby, and if you're wondering what could I possibly speak about when it comes to Classically Abby, like all she speaks about is being conservative and modesty, actually you might be a tiny bit incorrect there. She speaks about her musical life and her being an opera singer with 3 degrees in operatic performance, which we can clearly see over here. 3 degrees in performance. And, that same person was, in my opinion, very unprofessional in one instance. Specifically whenever she decided to agree with her brother BenShapiro that rap isn't music. Now, let's just get into this very quickly, because the way she says this just is astonishing to me, and then we're going to get into my thoughts on how this can harm young musicians.
Horribly written lyrics, to be honest. I mean, every time I listen to it, I get a little nauseous.
Oh yeah, well done, Abby. Now we have exact instructions as to how to listen to WAP. If you don't get nauseous, it's not good enough.
And also, it's not really music. So there's no music there.
Okay, now, I think you might be confusing there is no harmony there with there's no music. Because by the definition of Google's dictionary, here we have music, noun, vocal or instrumental sounds, or both, combined in such a way as to produce beauty of form, harmony, and expression of emotion. Now, instrumental and vocal sounds we do have, right? Combined in such a way as to produce beauty of form. Now, I cannot claim anything, but for all I know, beauty is one of the most subjective things out there. So it would make sense that it's beautiful to someone. Because it's not beautiful to Abby doesn't mean that it's not beautiful to someone else. I mean, I'm not particularly immersed in the song, but I can acknowledge that it works for some people, and that some people actually really love it, and that it makes them very happy. And I have songs that make me extremely happy, so I can relate to that feeling, and I don't want to take it away from anyone, unlike Abby. Now, I might be a tiny bit too harsh here, but seriously, expression of emotion, that's an interesting one. Because regardless of if Ben and Abby deny WAP expressing emotion, it will continue to express emotion. And that emotion is completely appropriate for adult women. These are adults doing adult things, so I don't think anything is too surprising. But for Abby, it is. And when it comes to harmony, it's an interesting one, because it has no harmony. But there was a guest on Rumi Official's channel, who I will link in the description, and basically he said, it's impressive how this song does so much with so little. And because I'm not that eloquent, I'm a baby musician practically, I want to leave it to him to describe the entire situation, because I think he did it wonderfully and eloquently, and it's super palatable and understandable, so I want you to hear them out.
This is a 0 chord song. I don't think there is even chords. There's nothing for the bass line to harmonize against. Like, it's rapping, and then like that sample with the guy, it's like there's no harmony.
It's almost like a grungy aesthetic. It makes you feel a little bit freaky.
It's interesting that you mentioned grunge, because I think this song is obviously meant to offend people. Like, it's meant to be outrageous, which is kind of what punk and grunge are meant to be as well. It's like it's pushing against what people are comfortable with.
Say that one's good. What do you think?
I can't say I listen to it in my spare time, but I think it's good. I think it's just interesting that it doesn't have any harmony, to be honest. I think it actually does a lot with very, very little, which is impressive.
Now, why am I enraged about this? Why do I not like this? One of the reasons is because it can negatively affect other musicians, and I think you would agree, guys, that Abby might have musician audience, because within like 80-something thousand, let's be accurate, 86.7 thousand people, some of them are going to be musicians. Like, that's the only thing that makes sense here. And at the end of the day, if she's negatively affecting other musicians, I feel like I have to step in. And also she's being very inaccurate in many ways, because rap is music. We view it as music now, and I think we will continue to view it as music in the future. So yeah, that just some of my thoughts. Also, rap is very crowded, and it's very scary to be in such a crowded genre, because nowadays it mixes up with pop. It's, it's changing, as everything is changing. You cannot expect music to stay the same. We're not always gonna make classical music. So my point is, we're not gonna always abide by classical sentences, thoughts, and structures. But I just find it weird that she's so blunt with oh, that's not music. Like it's the weirdest thing I've seen, I swear. And it's also weird because a lot of people have to go ahead and prove themselves in order to even be allowed to get into music by, I don't know, first of their parents, and then later on it can damage themselves. It's just weird. I seriously don't get how someone like her can do such a disservice to the stuff that she likes herself. Also sorry because this is an edit, and yeah, it's a messy video. And I'm not getting into all of the AI stuff, which we do have incredible AI when it comes to music. We really do. I've seen some of the videos and it's just mind-blowing. Producers got incredible whole musical ideas and whole verses and choruses and bridges that they then just mixed. And it's just mind-blowing to me that we have that. We might see songs fully written by AI sometime soon, and that's another thing, but as I already said, I'm not getting into that. So it's just there's so much she doesn't even consider in this entire thing. And also I want to make a deep dive, so yeah. If you haven't already, feel free to like this video, subscribe if you want more content like this, because it's not my usual skeptic-y stuff. So yeah, let me know. Comment down below, click the like button, subscribe, and I have Instagram and Byte, that is @HauntedTia everywhere. So yeah, I think it's impressive, the way we can change art and do things. But Abby definitely thinks otherwise, and I don't like people who try and tell others what genre they can sing or perform with or anything, because I find it restrictive. As a musician, you should allow people to explore what they like. Now, obviously, there are certain genres that only a certain type of person can sing because of cultural connotations, and I have to acknowledge that over here. But for the most part, it's just, if you strip away someone from music they resonate with, how do you think they will continue to love and cherish music for what it is? And again, as someone who knows ins and outs of opera, judging by the fact you have 3 degrees and you've definitely had your fair share of opportunities, you cannot be like that. I think just the fact that you're so successful in it makes you someone people look up to. And you're not using your powerful voice the right way here, in my opinion. So yeah, I would compare it to, I don't know, a student bringing up certain poems to the teacher, and that student clearly resonates with them and loves the poems and loves the artists, and they're very immersed in this entire world of their poetry that they like, poetry that comforts them, poetry that makes them happy, poetry that makes them feel something. And the teacher goes on and says, well, yeah, my guy, that's not poetry, you have to read Shakespeare. Now, by any means, if you want to read Shakespeare only, who am I to stop you? But it's horrible to stop people from enjoying the art they enjoy. And WAP is undeniably music. What else would you classify it as? A painting? A choreography? A poem? It's none of these things. A novel? not a novel, definitely. So, a sculpture? No, I don't think so. All I'm saying is I think this was a bit of an unprofessional move from Abby. And as I've already said, I don't want to speak about her being conservative because I'm not knowledgeable enough. And I might speak about her modesty stuff sometime, if you guys want me to. But generally, I think the entire idea of, like, gatekeeping, I know I'm using a buzzword, but I have to, genres, and telling people what to sing, especially in her case of like, let's get ready for the night in the operas instead of the night in the club. And it's like, let people enjoy what they enjoy. Stop restricting others. And obviously, fine, I acknowledge that she has videos and even bits of her website saying if you disagree, you're allowed to disagree and stuff. But I don't know, just I think presentation matters. I think it's kind of unprofessional and kind of inappropriate. So, without any further ado, let's just hear her singing. Because this astonishes me. She sings absolutely beautifully, and as someone who might one day become an opera singer, this is such an inspiration for me. But I cannot let myself... I feel a huge disconnect with it, because this person is doing something that I think is also a negative stereotype of classical musicians in general, to gatekeep people and to be mad at people for really things that they just like and enjoy and things that have no negative consequences on others. Granted, I want also to say that she mentioned age-restricting WAP, which I am all for, so just to make that clear. Anyway, let's get to her singing, because it's gorgeous.
The dream that you wish will come true. All those days watching from the windows, all those years outside looking in, all that time never even knowing.
That was beautiful. That was really gorgeous. From the beginning to the key change to the end song. And this is just a tiny snippet. There were 6 or 7 songs in this, maybe even more, don't quote me. But it's very good. She's incredibly professional in that sense. But not pulling your brother and telling him, hey, rap is music. You cannot write on Twitter that rap isn't music. You know? I mean, it's the same thing if I had, I don't know, a relative who's a historian and I messed up a story or a date and they pulled me and were like, hey, you cannot speak about this in that manner, or that wasn't the right story, or that wasn't the right date. Let me educate you. Let me tell you what's the correct thing to say and write in this instance. That's necessary. So yeah, I find it weird that, anyway, it's odd. It's odd. Just, it seems as if some people just get stuck on, oh, music has to have harmony, or vocals in music have to have melody. And yeah, as I've already said, I think art breaks and rebuilds itself all the time. And I think that's necessary for it to make any progress. It makes progress. Cooking makes progress. Why wouldn't art make progress in a sense that we don't necessarily need harmony to make music. We don't necessarily need melody to make music. I might be very young and I might not have the best case. I might not have the best argument for this. But for all I know that we need progress. And we need to continue working on art because we love it. And we don't have to strip others away from what they enjoy, which is what Abby could potentially do here. And for everyone who enjoys and loves music, that's deeply heartbreaking and disappointing. So yeah, that's all that I have for now, and I hope you enjoyed this. I couldn't record on Friday because of very personal stuff that happened. Now I'm finally recording, and I'm so happy to be back. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. I love you all so much, and see you next time.